If you want to lose marks fast in your IELTS writing task 2, easy. Just make these common mistakes. But if you're aiming for band 7 or higher, you have to avoid them starting today. Let's break down the top 4 mistakes that are quietly killing your score and show you exactly what to do instead. Number 1, using informal words. Now, let me explain something. In English, words are divided into 3 categories: formal, informal, and neutral. The formal words are the words that you would use when you want to write a research paper, for example. These are the words that you would use in the workplace, the words that you would use at school. The informal words, these are the words that you would normally use when you speak with your friends, the casual words. And then we have the neutral words. These are the words that are in the middle. You use them for most of the situations. So you can use them for formal situations and you can also use them for informal situations. Now, here is the issue. Too many IELTS students use informal words in their essays. They use words like stuff, things, kids, a lot of, lots of, plenty of. All of these words, by the way, are vague, casual, and completely unsuitable for formal essay. Why? Because they are very informal. And if you do not know already, your IELTS essay is a formal piece of writing. So when you use informal words in your essay, you are going to get penalized. So instead of using the word things, which could literally mean anything, it's very generic, you should be a little bit more specific. You should be using words like items, factors, causes, solutions, whatever fits your essay, but do not be very generic. And instead of using the word kids, use the word children. So instead of using a lot of or lots of, you can simply use phrases like a large number of or a significant number of. You can also use words like many or several, few or a few, but you should never use a lot of or lots of. So next time when you write an essay, please avoid using informal words, especially the ones that I mentioned. Mistake number 2, the use of contractions. Now, if you do not really know what the word contraction means, let me explain it. The word contraction is technically the opposite of expansion. When things expand, this means they become bigger. When things contract, this means they become smaller. So in English, the word contractions, when it comes to grammar, means when two words are squashed into one word. For example, do not becomes don't. Would not becomes wouldn't. So this is when you convert two words into one word using an apostrophe. That sounds clever, correct? But does it sound formal? Absolutely not. Your IELTS essay, as mentioned earlier, is an academic or formal piece of writing, and contractions are considered to be informal. So contractions make it sound too casual, almost like you're texting your friend on WhatsApp. So do not use contractions in your IELTS essay. Instead, you should be using the full form. You should be saying do space not, would space not. Well, it might seem like a small thing, but examiners notice these small things. And fixing it, this is an easy win for you. So please do not lose marks over a tiny apostrophe. It's not worth it. Mistake number 3, the use of idioms. Now, if you do not really know what an idiom is, let me explain. An idiom is a phrase or a group of words that do not really mean the actual meaning of these words. For example, when you say, this is not my cup of tea, this doesn't mean that you have a cup with tea inside. No, you don't have a cup and there is no tea. This phrase, when you say, this is not my cup of tea, simply means that this thing is not your favorite thing to do. You're not really interested in doing such a thing. So when you say, playing football is not my cup of tea, this technically means that playing football is something that you do not really enjoy. It's not your favorite thing to do. Beautiful? Beautiful. So, a lot of students ask me, can I use idioms when I write my IELTS essays? Now, here is the answer. Most of the idioms that we have in the English language are considered to be informal, and that's why they shouldn't belong in your essay. Let me give you some common idioms that a lot of students ask me about. They ask me about a piece of cake, break the ice, hit the nail on the head. All of these ones are really expressive and natural to use, but not in writing. You should be using them in speaking, but not in your essay. However, to be completely honest with you, there are few neutral idioms that can work in academic writing. Let me give you some examples. When you say, this is a step in the right direction, this is a really good idiom and it's neutral, it's not informal. You can use it, for example, when you want to suggest a solution. For example, you can say, this policy is a step in the right direction. Another neutral idiom that you can use is the root of the problem. You can use this idiom to highlight a cause of a problem. For example, you can say poverty is the root of the problem. Another neutral idiom that is fine to be used in your essay is a double-edged sword. You can obviously use this idiom in the advantages and disadvantages essay when you want to talk about the topic that you're discussing. For example, you can say social media is a double-edged weapon or a double-edged sword. This means it has advantages and it also has disadvantages. So these idioms that I've just mentioned can be used in your essay only if they fit naturally and logically. But if you're in doubt, you're not sure which one is formal and which one is neutral and which one is informal, please avoid using idioms altogether. As they say, it's better to be safe than sorry. Mistake number 4, the use of rhetorical questions. Now, if you do not really know what a rhetorical question is, let me explain. A rhetorical question is when you ask something without expecting an answer. People use them to sound dramatic or persuasive when they write or when they even talk. It's something like, but what do we do about this? Or, isn't this a time for a change? These kind of questions sound great in a story or a novel, for example. But in your IELTS essay, they are not the best. Your job in your essay is not to entertain the examiner. Your job is to argue, explain, and justify. So do not ask questions, just tell information, provide arguments, develop your ideas. So instead of saying, how can we solve the problem of air pollution? You should be saying, one effective solution is to implement stricter emission laws, for example. See the difference? The second one is clear, straight to the point, and very formal. The first one was a little bit redundant, and it's more dramatic. We don't need this in the IELTS exam. We need to be very direct. Always remember, you're writing an academic essay, not a TED talk. You're not writing to entertain. Well, that was the last mistake in this video. Now let's go through them again quickly so they stick in your mind. Number 1, do not use informal words like kids, stuff, and a lot of. Number 2, do not use contractions like don't, wouldn't, and can't. Number 3, do not use idioms like it's not my cup of tea or it's a piece of cake. Avoid them. Number 4, do not use rhetorical questions. Because you're writing an essay, you're not writing a story. Always remember, IELTS writing is not about being clever, it's more about being clear, formal, direct, and precise. These small changes can make the difference between a band 6.5 and a band 7.5. Trust me. So take them seriously, respect the exam, respect the format. Show the examiner you mean business, because I know you've got this. Now, if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so I can keep creating content that helps you improve and grow. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.